Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for the end of September right through the end of October 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is your singles love reading. And I don't know if you noticed with the guide chimes there was a real beautiful simplicity to the energy. And I feel you are trying to simplify your life, but there is a cycle of repeat or some sort of repetitive energy or even routine there that perhaps you're committed to at this time and you're trying to break free from, or that you feel like you rely on as a structure in order to keep life moving forward. So maybe that's something to look at this time because it's coming through. Also, I was given the number 1212 for you. So this may be a synchronistic number you're going to see a lot of before you meet the person of your dreams, or perhaps it's a date. It doesn't even have to be like a time. It can be, you know, a date. The 12th of December, perhaps. So please bear that in mind. I mean, this reading is for the end of September into October, but everything has a reason for popping up there. So perhaps you're going to keep looking at the clock and seeing 1212. Just bear it in mind because I feel it coincides with some sort of change for you there, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? What's going on regarding their love life at this moment in time? Can you please show them the way? We have the scythe, we have the rider, we also have the clover, and we have the cross. Okay, so instantly I'm getting an energy here of you kind of rescheduling an event, or even having something kind of be cancelled on you and that you go to something else. There seems to be a very impromptu energy where you sacrifice some sort of event or something that perhaps you were meant to go to, and this will put you in the path to meeting someone new is what I'm being given there, okay? So just watch out for that coming through. Now, I'm doing your overarching energy first, and then we'll go to a Celtic cross just to see who is coming in towards you. But this is your protagonist energy, and we've got the rider. So this is you taking action in your life. I feel like you're very ambitious at this time to focus on your projects, but also this energy kind of indicates that there is going to be movement in your love life. This is an energy of, you know, gradual improvement, but also it indicates an arrival of someone new. But ultimately, this figure is, you know, galloping off into the sun. So you're just trying to prioritize your happiness at this time. You know, this card can indicate that you are very busy, you know, that you're on the go, you have a lot going on, a lot on your mind, a lot on your to-do list there. But I do see an arrival of a new person, and then things are going to get really fast-paced is what I'm being given. Now, for some of you, this could be someone that you have been attracted to already that perhaps lives at a distance from you, and you're going to get a visitation from this person, or they're coming to your neighborhood. Not everybody is going to resonate with that, of course, but if there's someone that you had a frizz-on with but it never got fully explored, then I feel like there may be someone that you know or you have interacted with in the past where there is going to be some sort of kind of connection or chemistry there. Okay, that's coming through. But the majority of you, this is an energy of you about to meet a new person, you know, and this person could be traveling to your area, or they could be attending an event that you go to. I mean, I'm not seeing group activity here right now. I feel like you may be doing something independent that puts you in the path to meet someone new, okay? When we get to that Celtic cross, we'll see a little bit more. But some of you may be moving on from a previous relationship that perhaps let you down or came to some sort of sudden end, because these are very sudden cards, okay? And this is the resistance position. So it can indicate that some of you have been processing a heartbreak or, you know, a breakup there. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love if you've been going through that. That's a process that perhaps you are moving on from, and you are, you know, becoming stronger, more confident in your energy. I feel a lot of you, there is this energy that even though you want to be with a person, you know, number 9 at the bottom there is a very solitary energy, and number 1 indicates you're prioritizing your own needs, your own happiness at this time. You're really comfortable being by yourself. I mean, you do want to be in a relationship, and I feel like you're going to meet someone who's destined to be with you. And you're going to meet this person out of the blue, okay? This is not something that is planned. I mean, I feel like you'll go to a planned event that maybe gets cancelled and rescheduled, or perhaps this is an impromptu event that comes in because something else has been rescheduled there. But I feel you very much independently attend something. This could be a conference, could be a hobby, could be you know, something you're interested in that puts you in the position to meet new people. But ultimately, I feel you go off and do something by yourself that perhaps puts you in an arena where other people come together in a gathering. Okay, so that's coming through very strongly. Now, the scythe, of course, indicates that when there is an ending, there is a new beginning. So this energy can indicate that in love, you feel like you've had setbacks, or perhaps you feel like you meet people who are always very transient, very inconsistent. I feel like you're coming to the end of that cycle. I want you to be aware of that. You know, the scythe is removing or clearing something from your energy, but it can also be that you have had some sort of shock in a relationship in the past. And again, I'm sending you so much love and, you know, really positive vibrations, because I feel like you're about to meet a person who is very careful with your heart, someone who's destined to be in your energetic sphere. And I would say that this person is going to be your soulmate, because I'm getting this energy of like surrendering to love. I mean, I feel it has been very hard for you to meet a person who really connects to you. For some of you, because the cross is there, I am getting an energy that this person shares your belief system, or perhaps your faith in some way. My readings are not about religion, but this can be something that is instrumental to what you're looking for in a relationship. So if you are looking for someone who shares your belief system or your faith in some way, I feel like you're being aligned with a person like that. You know, because we have the rider, which literally means new arrival in your life, I feel like you're about to meet someone and suddenly it's like love at first sight, because the scythe is a very quick energy and the clover is destiny and fate. But because we have a sacrifice card here and we have the scythe, some of you may meet a person who perhaps piques your interests at first, but there is this sorting the wheat from the chaff energy. And I'm not being negative about that sentence. I feel this is about you kind of perhaps being a little bit interested in somebody, but then realizing that actually they're not right for you. So there could be like a minor flirtation coming on in first before you meet your soulmate. That's something that's coming in. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a major event. It can be something that you feel, oh, this is nice, but actually, no, it's not really exactly what I'm looking for. Or it's very short-lived is what I'm seeing there, because I feel like you sacrifice, you know, a relationship or let someone down before you really meet someone who is destined to be with you long term. That's something that's coming out very strongly there. I mean, it's number 6 at the bottom, which is the Lover's card energy, but it is number 9 when you reduce it. 3 plus 6 there is 9. So this can indicate solitary experience. You're going off and doing something independently that puts you in balance to meet a person who aligns with you, and also it's love, okay? So that's coming through very strongly there. But also, you know, that cross can indicate that you found it really challenging to meet a person who's consistent in relationships, and you sacrifice a lot when it comes to a relationship. You're all in. You're ride or die. Literally, these two cards, because this is the equivalent of the Death card, okay? This is like ride or die. You're someone who's loyal, and you deserve someone who, you know, reflects back to you the traits that you want in a relationship. So I feel for some of you, there is this energy of perhaps obstacles that have been in your way, but also I feel some of you may have sacrificed love because you've been very ambitious or focused on projects and been really busy in life, and suddenly you're kind of like having a bit of a wake-up call where you're like, oh, it's time maybe. This is not something I expected to happen. So I feel there is this lament there. I want you to be aware the path that you're on, you chose in certain aspects, okay? And when the moment is right, the right person is going to appear. And if some of you felt like your love life is over with this Scythe energy, I want you to be aware that suddenly out of the blue, you are going to meet a person that resonates with you. I mean, this is a card of destiny. It's the equivalent of the Wheel of Fortune. So suddenly you're going to meet a person, and if you felt like you have been unlucky in love in the past, you're certainly going to move forward luckier in love, because the Scythe indicates that challenge is coming to an end, okay? But let's get to the Celtic Cross just to see who's coming in towards you and what path you're on at this moment in time. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? What do they need to know regarding their love life? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of at this time? I mean, the Scythe energy tells me that a lot of you are focused on, you know, protecting your inner peace, and that, you know, you're learning when to be done in situations, not mad, not bothered, just done, and protecting your peace at all costs and walking away. So you may be in a period right now on a personal journey of discovery where you are shedding some relationships or decluttering your life. That's what I mean by sorting the wheat from the chaff, as it were. You're on a journey and you're realizing who and what is coming with you on that journey. So you may be going through a period where relationships are evolving, or you're outgrowing situations, or even things that you used to love or areas that you used to frequent. You're going through some radical changes with that Scythe energy, and it's important to recognize that means you're clearing space for the right people or the right situations to come on in. And we're starting with the Two of Cups there. That is incredible. So this is your starting position. You're calling in love right now. You're in a vibration of making it happen. This is an attraction card because it means that you are guided by your frequencies where, you know, you're prioritizing your happiness, and that's when you become a magnet. You're changing the frequencies in order to align with what you desire. And the Two of Cups is, you know, a couple. It's two people coming together, maybe toasting each other. There's an energy of love, of reciprocity, of union there, but also it's a card of attraction. And I love the fact that it's got a Leo emblem there with that lion. So even though it's a water element, there is a presiding kind of boldness there. Perhaps you're doing something bold and daring, coming out of your comfort zone, and, you know, I feel the universe is going to match your action when it comes to attending events or putting yourself in a position to experience new people. Interesting. We have the Eight of Cups. Yes, as I said, you're walking away from something or letting someone down at first. I'm just going to go and get that stone there because it did fall on the floor. I hate it when that happens, but it did knock off the stone that I had there on the deck, the Oracle deck. So perhaps there's a very important message in this for you at the end, but we'll get to that in a moment. So one moment, please. Sorry about that, my beautiful Leo. Now, this can indicate, because my guides are giving me this energy of like someone being a little bit clumsy, okay, knocking something over. And this could be something that you experience when you meet this new person. So it doesn't mean that you or this person is clumsy and that you knock something off a table or anything like that. It can be that when you meet this new person, it's something that occurs at the event that you're at. And again, it's a little signal from the universe like, okay, this is the person, pay attention, this is a sign, okay? So if you're at an event and someone knocks like a glass over or their phone drops off the table, for example, just pay attention. There's a little sign there that, you've met a person that is your soulmate, okay? So that's coming through there strongly as well. Now you have a star. So this is allowing yourself to be seen, going through a period of healing, aligning with, your hopes, your dreams and wishes. I feel like you're going to get a love wish. We've got the Emperor energy here, and that's in a past position. So I feel a lot of you have been very strict with yourself, focused on kind of like ambitions, success, making sure that you're stable in life, you're secure. And you may have lamented the fact that perhaps you've loved and lost in the past, because you do have a 5 of Cups showing up here and an 8 of Cups. But I feel you may be doing something new or going in like a new direction, venturing into uncharted territory when it comes to love. So it feels like you may meet a person at a place that you never expected to meet a person, okay? We have the King of Wands. This is exciting. We have the 6 of Wands, someone who truly sees you, someone who's really exciting to be with, someone who's passionate, someone who's very attractive. This person, this new person who's coming into your life, when you meet them, like they own the room. Okay, they're someone who is very influential. They are someone who, it's love at first sight, actually. So if you believe in love at first sight, then you're going to get love at first sight. But if you don't, you may be surprised, because you have a lot of surprise cards energy here. So let me just lock off that deck there for you. Your starting card, of course, is the 2 of Cups. Now, I don't choose the cards for you. They pop out as they're meant to pop out. And your end card, which means your outcome, is the Knight of Cups. Love. True blue love. Someone whose intention is attraction, magnetism. They are drawn to you. This person will give you a compliment when they first meet you, and they really mean it. They're not flattering you. They're actually giving you a true compliment there. It could be praise on something, so you could talk to them about something that you've done or accomplished there, and they really are in awe of you. They're really like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. If you've come through some sort of challenge and you talk about it at this moment when you meet this person, they're going to see how strong you are and really kind of, not praise you for going through it, but kind of like the way you've dealt with it. They're really complimenting you on the fact that you are you, and that was literally your superpower, that you've come a long way on something or been successful in some area. They really feel a sense of, I almost want to say pride connecting to you. Like they're so in awe of you. They're like, oh my gosh, you're such a strong person. You're so amazing. And I've only just met you, and I'm just seeing how incredible you are. So I feel this person, they really engaged in conversation with you right from the very beginning, and they give you a compliment right at the very beginning. Now, this could be an aesthetic compliment. So it could be that they say, I love the way you look. But there's another compliment that comes where they compliment you on something that you've done that you're proud of as well. And they really mean it when they give you this compliment. This person does not give compliments like out all the time, okay? Now, your first card, as I mentioned, is the 2 of Cups. This is the very foundation of you. You're searching for a soulmate. You're opening yourself up to love. And also this can be that you're trying to find harmonious partnerships, people who want to be in a long-lasting, loving relationship, okay? So you may have had experiences where you've loved and lost with that 5 of Cups. This can be your presiding energy that you're healing at this moment in time, because it is connected to the star, which means it's an opposing energy. You're healing a hurt, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there, as I said, and so much love. But sometimes we have to acknowledge that the universe will point us in another direction. Will remove people or situations that no longer serve a purpose in our life, and we've learned a lesson in that experience, but now we move on. So I feel a lot of you, whatever you've been through in your past, you're on a personal journey of discovery. And the 2 of Cups indicates you're kind of ready for love. You're okay being by yourself. You're someone who's independent, you're self-assured, you're building in your confidence. And there is an energy of like, you don't need anybody, but you want somebody. And the two things are very different, okay? So the crossing card is the Eight of Cups. I feel a lot of you have had to walk away from something, or perhaps in your personal life, you've gone through so many changes and changed direction. You may be actually in a transition period right now where you're feeling like you need to understand more about yourself. You know, 8 is the number of the self, so I feel like you are on that journey of discovery, letting go, seeking deeper meaning, wanting someone who aligns with you. You're not looking for the superficial in relationships, but you may have met people who are very physically attracted to you, or not investing in relationships in the way that you want or that you are. So I feel like you're learning to walk away when you notice a red flag or you notice something that just does not align with you. Because it's really important to recognize that if you notice a red flag with a person, right when you meet them, you know, think about 5 years' time. Anything that in the honeymoon period, and that's meant to be the period where we're like completely in awe of a person and we just think they're the best thing since sliced bread. You know, if there's something that you think, oh, and that's in the honeymoon period, that's going to amplify in like 5 years' time, 10 years' time. So this is about acknowledging when to walk away and not invest all of your energy into something that perhaps you feel like you're not fully aligned with. So I feel this is a card of acknowledging that, okay? Now, for some of you, not all of you, but I have to acknowledge it. There's two people here, okay? I mean, the Knight of Cups is representative of love coming on in and being offered. But some of you during this period, you may actually have a return of someone from your past, because this is a crossing position. And the Eight of Cups is someone who wants to reconnect from the past. So with the Justice card, you may have to do the right thing or make a decision on that. Not all of you are going to have that experience, but I want you to be aware it's in your energetic sphere right now. So about half of you, beautiful Leo, are going to hear from someone from your past, okay? An ex, for example. For some of you, this can also represent that someone is at a distance. So if you are doing online dating, for example, maybe this is a very independent experience, or even if you're like on chat forums, doesn't always have to be connected to dating or finding love. It can be something you're doing independently and the person is at a distance, and, you know, perhaps you're getting to know somebody. Just, you know, go through the process of how you feel and how that person makes you feel. But for some of you, if you feel it's too hard, long distance, I feel you and this person that you're connecting to, if you are connecting to someone already at this moment in time, there will be some adjustments made in order to make the relationship a little bit more easier to navigate, if that makes sense. And I feel the distance almost brings you both together to acknowledge that you have to make a decision, okay? Sometimes people will coast and say, oh, you know, we're just going to see how it goes. But this person that you connect with, they're going to show up for you if you're doing online dating and they're at a distance. They're going to try and make sure that they either travel to you or that you travel like to a midway point is something that I'm seeing there, okay? So just be aware of that. And because there's people here, I actually see that some of you will definitely, of course, tell people that you're meeting someone from the internet. This is my mama kind of like brain taking over now, going, you know what, just stay safe out there, kids, you know. So that's coming through there as well. I don't see anything untoward here, just so you're aware, but always good to be mindful. But the Eight of Cups there, as a crossing position, it can indicate that a lot of you are learning to let go, but also re-examining the experiences you've had in order to learn and inform you what is right for you in your future. So some of you may even change in the sort of things that you want in a relationship, for example. You know, there may be things that perhaps are really important to you right now that were not important to you in the past. So it can be that you are looking at what you really want when it comes to love, okay? And there's an energy, of course, because you have so many cups here. Cups can be about scrying. It can be about like your vision of the future. I use a scrying vessel in order to see images. Now, you don't have to use one of those, but it represents the vision. So it can be that, you know, your vision, because this is to be clear, to be concise in what it is that you want in a relationship, and certainly what it is that you do not want in a relationship there. And the star energy can indicate that your vision will become clear when you look into your own heart. okay, because you have a Two of Cups there, and the Cup of Love starts with the self first. So this is you building confidence within yourself, loving yourself, and knowing that you are lovable, okay, because you are, and you're about to line with someone here who, thinks the world of you, is what I'm seeing. But, when you look into your own heart first, then you become clear on what you want, okay? Anyone who looks outside of their heart, they kind of dream. It's not attached to any emotions, but anyone who looks inside of themselves and their vision, that's when it awakens. That's when it manifests, because then you have emotion connect to it, and you have a lot of emotional cards here, okay? Now, the star energy is on the earthly plane position, and this tells me that you are manifesting a dream that becomes a reality. A wish becomes your truth. So I feel like you are manifesting love coming on in here, but a lot of you on a personal level have been removing energy blocks. I feel there's a hopeful energy. You can actually feel things shifting for you. And also I feel your focus may shift, as I mentioned earlier, as to what you want in a relationship, and you're letting go of some of the things that perhaps you thought you wanted in relationships. You may be meeting the same sort of people or the same kind of inconsistencies in people that perhaps you don't want to align with anymore. But also the star is an energy of allowing yourself to be seen. So if you have been on this personal journey of discovery, it can be that you've almost been in hermit mode, or you've been very independent, doing your thing, and now you want to get out there and allow yourself to be seen in all your glory. You're overcoming any doubts or fears, and this is you saying, this is my authenticity. This is who I am. Take me as I am. The star energy is very exciting to have in this position, because it means that, love is not too far away, because this is the earthly plane position. The star is to be aligned with what you desire. And of course, it indicates a brighter future lies ahead. And in your past position, this could be someone you have history with. The Emperor energy can be that you were connected to a person who perhaps was very reserved in their feelings, that, kept you at a distance or kept you at arm's length sometimes. Sometimes they could have been very serious, as it were, and really hard to read. If you were connected to a person like this, I feel like you're not going to be connected to a person like that in your future. You're actually connecting to a person who is very passionate, very loyal, trustworthy, but also someone who is comfortable with their emotions and is not afraid to tell you how they feel. So the Emperor energy, of course, is in a past position. A lot of you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. Let's make this energy about you. The Emperor indicates that you have a lot to do, but you, of course, have a lot of tasks and maybe even responsibilities in your home life. You could be focused on taking care of family members, or, showing up for yourself in your work or your career. Some of you, as you mature, you may be feeling like you go unnoticed, that, suddenly on the dating scene, you are unseen. It's like you go invisible, as it were. You may feel that, there was a time where, you attracted a lot of people there. But with that Eight of Cups, I feel there's an energy of going on a personal journey of discovery, being independent, and then feeling perhaps that somehow, you just faded away or are not seen. Now, that's not going to resonate with all of you, of course, but I feel actually as you mature, you're having a glow up. You're coming into your own. This is where you're truly seen and actually highly sought after and magnetic. That's what I'm seeing, because that King of Wands energy is also you having a glow up. And the Emperor is there to indicate you kind of like acknowledging that you have responsibilities, but also acknowledging that you need to create space for love to come on in. And I feel that's something that you're doing at this time. Now, as we move to the Five of Cups, this is a presiding energy. The Five of Cups can indicate that sometimes, you have moments of doubt, or perhaps you connect to feelings from the past where you were let down. And I want you to be aware that I felt it in your energy here, that it feels like you either let someone down, or you meet a minor kind of flirtation with someone and you have to kind of like let that go, okay? Because as you can see in the background there's two cups. You want the two cups, and the universe is going to send you this loving romantic relationship that is your soulmate, basically. But it also highlights with this Five of Cups that you are destined to kind of meet someone where it kind of goes nowhere. at first. And then you meet someone new. That's what I'm being given here. And a minor flirtation could literally be that someone, interacts with you and gives you a wonderful compliment, and you think, oh, there's a frisson here, and you may feel like this is maybe going to go somewhere, and suddenly it just disintegrates, and you're like, oh, but you're not fully invested in it. That's what I'm feeling. It feels like, oh, okay, oh, well, forget that. Let's move on. And then you meet the one, okay? And this could be someone just giving you a passing compliment at first, and then, as I said, it just goes nowhere, and then you kind of like move on with your life, and then you meet the one, okay? That's something that's strongly coming out in both decks here. And we got the Justice card. So for some of you, if this is an ex re-entering your life, this could be that you get a truth that perhaps is really hard to acknowledge or come to terms with, and you resolve these things within yourself in order to fully do what you feel is right. And I feel a lot of you are cutting someone out of your life with these cards. So I feel like you are taking back your power. But again, removing any ex energy from your reading, because this reading is all about you. The Justice card can be that, you are basically making some adjustments in your life to find balance and harmony. If you've been doing one thing all the time, then it doesn't create space for other things to come on in. So it can be that you're recalibrating your schedule, for example, or actually, in evaluation periods where you're being really honest with yourself, right? And we can be honest with ourselves and say, okay, love hasn't come in. I really want love. It's not there for me. That's awful. And it is. But at the same time, you may be asking yourself, well, what did you do to put yourself in a position to meet someone new? This could be a period of critical thinking or critical acknowledgements, especially when you get the Justice card. Justice card can be cold, hard truth, okay? So I got to give it to you straight here. A lot of you, there is this energy of doing everything you can to put yourself in a position to meet the right person, and, acknowledging that sometimes people come into our lives for a reason and a season, and we got to let go of those people who come into our lives for a season and acknowledge that, we are worthy of more. So I feel this is about you kind of speaking your truth, being honest with yourself, and taking action in areas in your life where you feel like you haven't quite taken action on yet. Now, what I'm interested in here with that Five of Cups and the Justice card, I feel your adjustment is in the fact that you are going to meet someone who is not your usual type. We've got this Five of Cups energy, which is the alternative. And I feel with this Justice energy, this is a person who is absolutely perfect for you. You have a soul contract with this new person. This person is super attractive. They are very confident in their energy. They only have eyes for you. This person is a doer, a go-getter. I feel like they've got a lot of Aries in their chart as well. Maybe a little bit of Libra there, as well as some water that's coming through there. But I feel for some of you, you could meet this person where you gain new knowledge as well. So it could be that you're going to a conference or even a book signing, or, it could be a forum regarding something you're interested in. I feel like you learn something wherever you're going to meet this person. And I feel like this is a very reciprocal card. This can indicate someone with morals, someone who maybe even in like legal walks of life. So this person could have like been in the services, or is currently in the services, or it could be even someone who perhaps works in legal companies, for example, or, is connected in some way to the law, okay? Because this can be, a card that connects to those avenues. It doesn't have to be, but I feel this person, they have morals and they have ethics. And I feel also, because the Justice card comes after the Five of Cups, I feel this is about you bringing your worries into perspective and recognizing that actually you are magnetic and you are in a period where you're having a glow up. This card represents passion, leadership, taking action, being bold, but also being at optimum vitality, energy levels, and having a glow up where you influence your circumstances and attract a person who is aligned with you. So the King of Wands basically represents someone who is super passionate. And I feel this is about you acknowledging that your passion is going to remove obstacles from your life. So a lot of you are actually going to go to a place or an event that you're passionate about. So this could be that you're called to go to an experience, hobby, an event that you are excited or enthusiastic to attend. And that's something that's coming out strongly here. King of Wands is in your position of your advice to yourself. Lead with passion. Be your wonderful, authentic self. You can't be anybody else, okay? And this can also indicate that you are looking at your motivations. What do you want in a relationship? And remember that anyone who comes into your life, they are a welcome addition to your life, okay? So you bring a lot to the table of love and life, and it's important that you recognize that sense of value when you go into a relationship. Because often when we go into that honeymoon period in a relationship, we have a point in a relationship where the balance can be tipped. You know, if you think about when you meet a person for the first time, both of you are engaged and both of you are kind of like locked into each other and excited to get to know each other, and it is even. You're coming to each other, getting to know each other. But then suddenly there's a moment in the relationship, especially in the honeymoon period, where we start to idolize a person that we're in love with. And that's important to recognize that, because that's when it tips the balance. Often we think that the person we're dating is the best thing since sliced bread. And of course they are. But remember, you are too. Because when you're idolizing a person, we put them on that pedestal, we're inadvertently putting ourselves below that person. We don't even realize it, but that's what's happening, okay? You may see a shift in relationships, and this may be a lesson that you've been learning about maintaining balance in relationships, okay? If you find that you're the person who's always finding the exciting things to do on date nights, or you're the person always reaching out first thing in the morning, you know, you need to kind of readdress the balance on that. So perhaps you're learning that lesson in relationships about reciprocity at this time. But circumstances outside of yourself, we got the Six of Wands. This is you allowing yourself to be seen, taking action, doing something. It's another rider. For some of you, this could literally be that, you know, you are going horse riding, for example, or perhaps there's something connected to equestrian lifestyle here for some of you. Not all of you, of course, but I feel this is more that you are setting yourself apart without even realizing it. You're just being your wonderful, authentic self. But this is a card of action. It's influencing your circumstances, but it's also a card of transformation and victory, allowing yourself to be seen. And when you meet this new person, they're just going to see you. It's almost like the room kind of disappears and they just see you. So that's something that's coming through very strongly in this reading. Now, Six of Wands is celebration. It is a card of obstacles and difficulties being removed or overcome in order to have more confidence within yourself and recognize that you are lovable and that you are awesome and that you deserve the love that you truly desire, okay? Now, the hope and a fear position is heartbreak. You know, fearing heartbreak often means you've been heartbroken in the past. So again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love if you've gone through a very traumatic experience in love, or even if you've gone through periods where there's been unrequited love, having a crush on a person and it didn't go anywhere. Whatever your experience is, I feel a lot of you are fearful of repeating a cycle, but I want you to be aware. Eight of Cups in this position indicates that you're aware that you had a cycle, learned from it, and that you are removing it from your energy at this time. I mean, also, I have to acknowledge that in this position, you read the reverse of this card as well as the upright. So some of you may actually get a visit or a message from an ex, and this can be someone who's trying to apologize or trying to re-enter your life in order to come good. But the Five of Cups is present, which means, you know, same old thing, just a different day. So perhaps you're, you know, taking back your power and deciding to either block this person from your life or maybe listen impartially to what they have to say, because the Justice card is kind of impartial. It's like, okay, I'm removing my emotions from this. Tell me what you got to say, because I want the truth. So if you're trying to get the truth on a situation, you may get that truth or their version of their truth. And then, of course, the Five of Cups can indicate you lament a situation or you feel it's time to let that person go, because the Five of Cups is to let things go, okay? And it may be sad to acknowledge that, but what is coming in almost to replace that previous experience is way better than what you experienced in the first place. So some of you may have, as I said, this minor disappointment energy And there's three things coming through. One is, letting an ex go or finally getting closure on an ex. The other thing I've got coming through here is a cancellation or a reschedule of an event that actually plays some sort of part in you being aligned with the person you're meant to meet. So everything happens for a reason and everything is connected. So remember that. And the next thing I have is you kind of like fearing that perhaps, love is not coming for you. But actually it is. Your outcome card is the Knight of Cups. And I feel this is an opportunity to fall in love. And although knights tend to wear suits of armor, so this can indicate that, you're being protective of your heart, you're actually going to meet a very sensitive, romantic person who is very refined, is what I'm being given, and someone who's very careful with your heart. This person admires you right from the very beginning. And I feel this person, they're going to invite you out very much from the get-go when they meet you. And I feel this person, you just feel very comfortable in their company. And also I'm being given that this person, they follow their heart. They follow their passions in life. They follow their desires, okay? So this person, whatever they do for a living, they really love what they do, okay? They are someone who is very fulfilled. They've gone through a personal journey of discovery themselves, and they may tell you about this, but I feel this person has walked away from a certain path themselves and is now much more fulfilled. And now they feel it's time to be open to love. And I feel both of you find each other. And with that Two of Cups there, I feel it is a long-term relationship, okay? I want you to see there on this deck as well that we have like two fish on this figure's armor. And of course, we've got like a horse symbol there as well. These could be symbols that are relevant. But when you have like two fish, this can indicate like balance, abundance, and being in the flow. Both of you just get each other. It's not weird. It's not, awkward. It just feels right when you meet this new person. So let's get to your final cards to see what is coming out there for you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Now I'm seeing a palm tree as well. Not sure if that's of relevance. I'm seeing a palm tree and a red feather. Okay, palm tree and a red feather. Random that they are coexisting in the same image. Maybe this is a logo. I mean, the red feather appears on the Fool card. Fool cards tend to be new beginnings, but this could also be a meeting of minds. Palm tree can be like you just feel relaxed. Or maybe you meet this person traveling, because we have the Rider, we have the Six of Wands, which is an action card, and we have the Eight of Cups, which is a journey. So that can be travel. I want you to be aware of that. But more than anything, I feel like you're meeting someone who's heading in the same direction as you, and you align with each other. Now we have 111, and we have number 7. Okay, oneness. Two hearts becoming one. Very interesting there. So you are an extension of the universe itself. Trust your creative power that is connected to the single infinite source of energy. Keep your intention pure and your thoughts positive. You're the master builder and are destined for greatness. I mean, for some of you, you could even meet a person in and around a competitive arena. Six of Wands is to compete. So it could be that like you go to an event where you compete in something, or there's a challenge and you win the challenge, or you conquer something. So just be mindful, because that Six of Wands is a celebratory card of accomplishment. It could be that you're just like getting yourself out on the dating scene again, and like, yes, finally you're having the confidence to allow yourself to be seen and get out there in all your glory, and seen you shall be. And by the right person at that as well. Now we also have synchronicity. Pay close attention to number 1212, because that did come up at the beginning there. It says here, you are a conduit of the magical, loving energy of the universe, radiating with abundance and beauty. Your path is manifesting a perfect synchronicity, reflecting how consequential your efforts are. You have put in all the hard work, and now you are reaping the rewards. Six of Wands, Knight of Cups, that's a reward. Love is the reward for all the personal development work that you've been doing there. So I'm sending you a huge hug, and I hope something resonates in this reading for you. I'm just going to go and get a trinket before we close. Also, if you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to a candle, all you have to do is write the word candle. And of course, I will, announce a winner at the end of September. My guides will give me a name of a subscriber. Has to be a subscriber, because if you're not subscribed, I just can't find your name. If you don't win this time round, unsubscribe if you don't want to be a subscriber. I'm not trying to, sneakily get new subscribers. I just want to highlight that. It's just there's an algorithm that prevents me from connecting to anyone who's not subscribing to the channel. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. Also, the world needs more light. So maybe, play your favorite song, raise vibrations, very important during this time. And I will leave it at that. But we have a mask. And this is beautiful because this can indicate some of you are going to an event. Perhaps it's a fancy dress event. Maybe even in and around Halloween, perhaps, for some of you, Samhain there. But it can be just a party, an event. But there's like an energy of an owl there. It feels like an owl mask. So this can be, a place where you learn something. The mask is to, truly be authentic. Allow yourself to be seen. Take off the mask. And I feel like you're a very authentic person anyway, my beautiful Leo. So you don't tend to be inauthentic. You tend to be a very honest, true blue kind of person. But it can be that, now you're seeing what you truly want in a relationship. You're comfortable being you. You're attracting the right person because you're in a vibration of, just saying, this is me. You're being comfortable with yourself and loving yourself in a deeper way from a viewpoint of value. So therefore, you're attracting a person who values you in the same way. Okay, so I will leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Leo. Thank you so much, and love and light.